Oh. No,
That looks better, Denise, when you're vertical rather than horizontal.
That means, yeah, I know. That means I have to hold it up. I wish I had a stand.
Oh,
I
oh, you
wish I
have to
had a
hold it.
stand, so
Scissors.
now
Come
I'm-
over here, trying to get
Just lean it up against your wine glass. That's the way you're supposed to do it.
That's a good idea.
That's the way that's why they make those that way. Oh. Yeah, Gordon, so you found out about the well drawer might donate his effort.
Yeah. I always thought that Peters was one of our supporters, so it was just a matter of talking to the right person at the right time, and I think they're going to donate a well test for us. So, and you know, talk about how many gallons per minute we have from the well, and maybe even get a you know, some kind of a report on the quality of the water, and just an overview of what kind of water do we have there, both the quality of the water and also like why is it set up the way it is. You know?
Right. I
Is it
wasn't able
salty?
to verify, you know, I wasn't able to make sure it had power to it. I think it does, but I didn't have the right testing equipment to make sure that the
That there
pump.
was power at the well.
Yeah, I assume there is. It's got to be. But
Yeah.
is he coming out, or have you set a time?
Jonathan, how was the game?
Me?
Oh.
Did you say something? BJ, what did you say?
I can't hear Jonathan for some reason. You guys can hear okay?
I
Yeah.
can hear Jonathan.
I can hear him.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
BJ, can you not hear Jonathan? BJ, are you even there?
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear, BJ, can you hear?
Now I can. Something was off. I don't know.
All right. No, Jonathan, we haven't gotten Justin Peters is the son of
Right.
the family heir to the, and he's on vacation this week, so we won't get anything probably till next week from you.
Right. That's great, though. That's really good. Good news.
Yeah.
So how was the game?
The Giants game?
Yes.
Yeah, the Giants won. Yay.
Yes.
3-2. We got there late, but we stayed till the end, so that was really good. And my 1-year-old grandson attended his first Giants game, so
Aw.
we're inculcating the, you know, the proper just being a proper fan. So
The next generation, I guess that's what it takes, right?
well, that's how old Sam was when I first took him to a Giants game. So
Oh, that's
now we
great.
got the next generation going. Yeah.
That's great. Was it cold and foggy?
No, it was a fabulous sunny day. It was on a Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Sunday, beautiful Sunday afternoon, sunny and
Nice.
not windy or anything.
Wow, it was windy on the coast.
Yeah,
Really windy.
I don't know, that park is way better. You know, it used to be a Candlestick Park. It was
Yeah.
always windy and freezing and cold, but the new park, it does like that sometimes, but not most of the time. So it was a lot of fun. The beer cost $15.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Gotta
I hope it's
start-
good beer.
No,
Can
not
it
good
be
beer.
that good?
Not even good beer.
Budweiser.
Well,
Wow.
better. Okay, I take it back. Yeah, it's Sierra Nevada, so it's not
Oh,
that.
that's not bad. That's
No,
not-
that's right. Hmm.
$15 though. Holy cow.
Wow. Wow. So much for going to the game to get loaded.
I know.
No, yeah.
The
Well,
bands
some
won't be as
people-
enthusiastic if nobody's drunk.
Well, we got our tickets. They had a special deal on tickets for $10 a seat. And then not only that, they didn't even care where you sat once you got there. So
Oh,
those tickets we bought were like way up high, but instead we sat down like right along the first baseline. So it's,
Fun.
yeah, they don't usually allow you to do that, but they were kind of being lax, I think, this first series. So it was a lot of fun.
who sang the national anthem?
I think it was just piped in. I don't think it was anybody in particular. Hi, Jane.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Gordon, you have the most interesting background.
Doesn't he?
What
We
is
should be
that?
there.
That is William Blake.
In person?
No, I believe
seen that
it is
before.
called, I believe that the image is called the Western Gate. And those
Yeah.
Wow.
are,
What,
that-
say again what the image is called?
the Western Gate,
Oh,
which is and those are the three cherubs that guard the Western Gate.
okay.
I think Gary said he probably won't be able to make it. He won't have cell reception.
Right.
I don't think we should.
Yeah,
expect
it's
him.
6:30 right now, so I think we should just get started with our opening.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go for it.
Should we just do
let's
round
call the
robin?
Order at 6:30. Should we do a round robin? Does everybody have the vision? We
I
want
I
to.
Yeah, I
don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
I do.
Jane, did you say you have it?
I don't.
Oh, you don't. Who's got it?
I have it this time. I didn't have it
Okay,
last
Gordon,
time.
why don't you start us off?
Now let me find it first. Where the heck is it? It's in here. All these pages. I printed them all off today because I realized I can never find them when it's time to actually go to the meeting.
Okay, I'm going to start. We
Yeah, you
envision
start, Jonathan.
a free-flowing, clean creek and healthy, biodiverse watershed for the benefit of present and future generations.
The mission is to protect, preserve, and restore the Wolf Creek watershed by increasing knowledge, appreciation, stewardship, and public access to the creek.
Okay, goals. 1, to preserve and protect the integrity of watershed. 2, engender community stewardship of Wolf Creek and its watershed. 3, restore Wolf Creek to a condition of optimal health and integrity. 4, monitor the physical, chemical, and biological conditions of Wolf Creek. 5, increase public access to the creek along trails in parks and preserves. 6, to thrive as an organization and thereby have a long-lasting positive presence in the watershed. And 7, to raise the status of Wolf Creek to that of or equal to personhood rights of nature.
Hey, I found it.
Okay,
Great.
Land acknowledgement. As stewards of Wolf Creek watershed, we acknowledge these are ancestral homelands of the Nisenan land they never ceded. Together, we can help to amend the tragic legacy of the past. Well, hey, better late than never. Yes.
Perfect.
good, great. Do we have any additions to the agenda for tonight?
I
just had a
do.
question. Okay, BJ, go ahead.
Do we want to spend money on invitations?
On what?
On invitations for the donor party? It's only about $25, and
Well, it'll be
Josie,
more, it'll look more elegant.
I
it'll
think-
look more professional. Josie really believes that that's important with this project, this group, this party.
I think that's a good idea.
You
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
I agree. Okay, so that wasn't an addition to agenda. That was a motion to spend some money.
I stuck it in, yeah.
I know, right, good.
Okay.
Any other additions? Are you, so the way you've written this, BJ, this will work for next week also? Are your intention that we'll just sort of go through this and then whatever we don't do, we'll just finish up next week?
Exactly. I don't want to do two of them.
Yeah, good idea. I think that's a great idea. And so that's, thank you for distributing the minutes from last month. And
Did anybody look at them?
I looked at them. They look fine to me. Anybody else?
I glanced at them, I didn't see any problems.
So I move that we approve them as submitted. Thank you, BJ. All in favor?
I,
Okay. The first item, Josie's supposed to facilitate a strategic plan review. I assume she'll be hopping on pretty soon.
we could just skip down to the committee reports.
Okay, why don't we go to the committee reports until Josie shows up? And the
Yeah, that
first
makes
one
sense.
is Gordon. Do you?
All right, so so all of you have seen the financial statement, I assume, like that was why it was put on there.
Yep.
The most important thing probably is that we didn't, because of the $5,000 that came from the Peterson, from the Petersons, we really don't actually have as much money as we said. We're still lagging behind on our donations and trying to, just keep one foot out of the creek, so to speak. That's kind of where we're at.
Where did you post the financial report?
It's on the,
It's
it's
Part
with
of the agenda.
part of the agenda.
Oh,
If you scroll down on the agenda that BJ sent, it's attached to the bottom of that.
oh, okay. I'm
Yes,
sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think we need, that's not uncommon, Jane. That actually happened to me too. First off, BJ, I really appreciate you doing the agenda, and there's so much improvement over the past agendas, which I hardly ever used to even read because they weren't hardly necessary to read them. But now it's important to read the agenda before the meeting because there's so much stuff that goes with them. And
Okay.
that, just so you know, in the future, there will be a treasurer's report with every agenda from now on. If
Okay.
it's not there, it's because it didn't get added. It's something got wrong. I'm gonna be doing one every month, and it's basically it'll be a two-part thing. It'll have our financial statement with income and expenses, for that for the month, and then our budget and how we're doing in relationship to our budget. So that's the two parts, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. Although if there's stuff that we need to talk about, then we can talk about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I say hello from Utah here?
Gary, hi.
Hi,
Hooray!
Hi.
And hi,
Um,
Josie.
I'm-
Josie too just signed on.
Hi.
Oh, awesome.
Sorry I'm late.
Okay. So I just want to say that I'm phone only. And so if you have a question for me or something, please let me know because I don't have the visual cues. And I'm just in the process of bringing up the agenda and the minutes and all the rest. But glad to at least be hearing what's happening, and I'll participate as possible.
Sounds good.
We
We're going
just
over the
approved-
treasurer's report at the moment. Gordon's going through the report with us.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
No, like I said, nothing to report, just the report itself. So
So
Great.
we've had a couple of donations recently, right? Like some
we've had some,
unexpected.
yes, we had Jane and Dawn gave us a donation, and Eric Peterson gave us a donation. So
Thing.
and my daughter gave us $2,000.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
You landed the whale. All right.
yeah, I landed a whale.
Whoa, that's very exciting.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Jane and
Yes,
Dawn and everybody.
Yes.
So are those donations broken down here? Are they, let's see.
No, they're not broken down by who
Okay.
gave them.
That's fine. This is great. Thank you for doing that.
can you tell me when the agenda, oh, there it is. I got it. Because I don't have it up yet. Okay,
So this
Yeah, we
doesn't
already-
include
we al-
April, so it doesn't have any of those more recent ones.
Sorry, what did you say, BJ?
No, this is just through March.
So it doesn't have any of the newer.
Doesn't have the April
donations
numbers,
or
no.
anything.
Oh, I see. Through March. Right, of course. Good. This is great.
that I'm having
Um,
a hard time getting this to open. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
I see it myself. Thank you. It's very helpful to have the agenda in front of me.
I think as Josie's getting settled, if nobody minds, I think I can do the thank you brunch.
Yeah, let's,
Committee report next.
yeah, we jumped over the strategic plan review and the ED report and we've done the treasurer's report. Let's go on to the thank you brunch report.
Okay,
and
so
then
that's
we'll go back-
attached. It's attached to the agenda. It's at the bottom. I'm not going to read it. If you want to know what's going on, just look at it. I do have an agenda item though. Does anyone have folding chairs? I think we need 6 or so folding chairs or
Hey,
desk
BJ.
chairs. Yeah,
I might be able to get some. So let me talk. I have a girlfriend who said
Okay.
that she would be able to loan.
Well, I own 8,
Oh,
I
you
have
do?
yes. And I have a car to
Okay.
transport them.
I
Okay, then that.
probably have 6 too.
okay, because we had 24 chairs at Denise's house and we're gonna have about 30 people, so we still need. So Josie and Gordon, can you guys talk offline and decide who's gonna bring how many?
How many do you
Okay,
have, Gordon? How
I
many
have
do you?
8.
We need 6.
I
Okay,
can do 6, no problem.
Okay, great.
bring them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
And when you say bring them, I'm bringing them to,
My house,
Denise's.
would you be able to bring, we're trying to do setup on Friday, the day before, so we don't have to cart chairs and tables and things like that the day of.
You can
I think
drop
that
them at
makes
my
a lot-
house.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Let me grab the Friday, let me just look on the calendar here. That's Friday, May,
What days? I don't know my calendar.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can bring them here if you want anytime before that.
Well, no, it makes, because I mean, I can transport them. Let me just,
Okay.
here. All right. What's your address?
13797
13797 Allison
Allison
Ranch.
Road, yeah.
All right, Denise, what's your phone number?
415
415
300
300.
6701.
All right, I will call you on Friday morning and we'll make arrangements to bring the chair sometime during the day.
Perfect. Thank
Okay,
you.
very good. Thank you.
Good, good. So BJ, I think you said that you have a written report about the brunch, but maybe we don't really need to discuss it here. We can all just read it and see where we are. Is that what you said? You're muted, BJ.
There we go. Yeah, last time we talked about just submitting written reports, so we don't have to have as much to do during this meeting. So it's attached and I don't think there's anything that it's actionable. There's no question or anything. And if anyone has questions about it, let me know and I'll answer them. We're full speed ahead. Looking good. 30 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Josie, are you ready? We were going to, just so you know, I think you might have missed it, but this agenda is both for tonight and for a week from tonight. when we have our second part of the meeting. So we're just going to go as far as we can through this agenda and then complete it next week.
Okay.
And so the next thing we were going to do is spend 15 minutes on the strategic plan review. Are you able to have that and read it sort of?
Yeah, let's see if I can.
Jonathan, that'll change the time of the ED report to 7 PM. I know you wanted to have the time on there, so if you adjust that, that'll be great.
Okay, so I did a fair amount of pre-work on it today, so we shouldn't have to spend too much time on it. I'm gonna open it up in the Drive folder so that we can have it be a working document. Gordon, can you give me sharing permission?
I think I know how to set those. Share screen. Let's see.
That's it. Yep.
Advanced options. All participants.
Yep.
Okay, you should be able to share now.
Okay. So let's see. Updating strategic plan. There we go. Oh, you see everything, but okay. Can you see that now?
Yes.
The strategic plan. Okay. Oh, that's weird. I had a bunch of comments. Now they're disappeared. Okay.
Looks
Well,
like you're there.
what?
Looks like they might be there. There's some little icons on the right. This could be.
Oh, maybe. Okay. All right. So we were going to start with number 4, monitor the physical, chemical, and biological conditions of the Wolf Creek. And so I've been thinking about this, and I think we really do need to have more data. And I think we need to not only have all our water quality data and keep it up to date and try to get it into CEDN, the state database, but I think we should also really try, really try, make it a priority to do regular bacterial monitoring, regular metals testing, and flow and something
Totally
else.
agree. Yeah.
BMI,
Yeah,
BMI.
Good. Oh, BMI is too. Yeah, and that's a big list. And but I agree that should be an important goal for us to make our data more robust that way.
Yeah. And,
So
you know, we,
then as a board, do we need to have on our list to find funding to do those things? Is it a priority?
Yeah, do we know how much that would cost, Josie? And are we going to do that locally with the testing agency over on, what is it? Off of
Cranmer?
Main. Yeah, yes.
what? Oh, Cranmer?
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know what it's going to cost. It depends on how many times a year we try to do it. And when, so the board doesn't really write the grants for these types of projects. That's an ED thing. Or staff, that's a staff thing. You could ask major donors to fund a certain project. But if you do that, you need to come to me to work on a budget and strategy and so forth to present to them, you know, a really organized package of what you want. So, but I think we should start to write grants that point to that for sure. So I think that, let's see if this.
Jean, you have a question?
No, I just wanted to say that I think it would be helpful to know the cost of these things in deciding how many sites to do and how often to do them.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, that would be
You
good.
know, like I can figure bacteria pretty easily. I'd have to talk to SSI or find another, well, to SSI about processing the data. I mean, processing BMI samples. And we need some younger people to go out and collect that data, I think. Because I can't walk in the creek anymore. I have too much arthritis in my feet, ankles.
Are there,
Me too.
yeah,
You know,
when it comes to taking samples, are there specific requirements that the state sets forth for that?
there's standards and protocols for collecting good data, yeah.
Okay.
And
It-
we have access to all that. We've done it in the past.
Okay.
BJ's led us in that. And so, and SSI is upgrading their lab. But this is something that, you know, we can start figuring out what it'll cost and how much we want to do it and how much we should do it. And, you know, the medals might be once a year, do a few sites. I did just have a high school student who went out and collected some data. That's a long story. It didn't work out very well, but we did get, I mean, she had to abandon the project. Her parent, her host family said she was spending too much time on it. And yeah, it was really a drag.
No.
I don't know what happened, but you know, I don't know the details, but it didn't go through. But she did collect the data and the results should be at the post office. Has anyone been to the post office recently?
Yeah, I go to the post office at least once a week, and I was there on on Sunday.
So was there something from Cranmer Engineering with some test results?
No,
No,
not on Sunday.
and not in the week before that?
No, and not in the week before that either.
They had some new guy at the
Jane,
desk.
Jane has her hand up.
Yes.
Well, I was just going to say that the last time we did metals testing
Mhm,
and the macro invertebrates,
mhm.
we had grant funding for that.
Do you remember who it was from?
That was the Bella Vista.
It was? Oh, a different Bella Vista.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So
Hey,
anyway, that's kind of, yeah, go ahead.
one other thing, when you're looking at the physical condition of Wolf Creek, I did send you, I'm seeing an amazing amount of moss in the creek these days.
Or algae.
Right.
Sorry, not moss, algae, the green. I think I sent you and
Right.
Jonathan some visuals. I mean, it's all over the
I
place.
saw that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could mean extra nitrogen. It could be that heat wave that we had. We had a problem with this last year also early in the season, but I have a microscope and we can identify it now.
Okay, I'll pull some out then.
Keep it
And
in the
then-
water, keep it in some creek water. In the
Okay.
fridge, in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that being recorded and kept somewhere with the data, with the photos and the dates and anything like that?
We haven't done this before.
So will we be keeping this information somewhere with our regular data?
You mean
Uh-huh.
Denise's photographs? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, photographs, and if we identify any of the
Samples and,
plants or algae, or, yeah, just keeping track of the sampling that we are able to do, what we see when and where and who collected it.
Good point. We need to think about where to store that information. I'll think about it.
Like we had that photo from Dan Nicholson of that perhaps rare fish plant. It'd just be nice to be able to keep all that.
Oh, right. Yeah. You mean at the preserve, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that yeah, it would be good to detail how we're storing our data and in general, have maybe a document that sets that out, and then a way to so we know how to access it. I'm sure a lot of it is available, but I'm suspecting that it's only understood by very few of us.
Well, Gary, several years ago, you set up a photo album for Wolf
I do
Creek.
remember that. Yeah, and that was.
So,
I'm
from the
not sure
pictures-
what's happened with that.
The pictures from
Photo, right? Flickr has kind of
yeah,
changed their guidelines, and I'm not sure about the access of that. I did give access to the organization, and I don't know. I mean, I can look into that. But yes, I think we could. That would be a good thing to review, and maybe I can work with Josie on just kind of looking at the accessibility or the organization of our data. Because there is photo data that would be good to keep organized and think about. Maybe there's a database format we should be using for some of it. Maybe, Josie, or BJ, there's years of data we have, and that's held in what format and what kind of program? I don't even know.
Well, we used to
Ralph
keep
designed a-
notes.
Well, right now, so Ralph designed a database and we keep our data in that. You've seen at least parts of it, I think. Haven't you?
Okay.
Does it
Yeah.
have notes?
Yeah.
It has notes, so we can put some things in notes. It would be nice to have a photo database. We don't really have much more than that. That was a Flickr site, I think, Gary, that you had.
yeah.
But
It
that's-
was.
I think we could add this to the strategic plan, that we improve our, how should we say this? That the photo, let's see. What should we say? What do we want to do? We want to,
We want to retain any
How about use the word
data,
integrate?
observational data.
Good one.
Yeah,
Integrate
observa-
observational data, photo data.
yeah,
Good.
And it doesn't have to be photos. It can be like
Right.
Denise the other day said something about the fish. And that was kept for a while on those Excel spreadsheets,
mhm.
the data sheets. And so that is searchable. You can search for fish or you can search for whatever.
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't know how to do Flickr or anything, but yeah, it's really nice to be able to go back and find things by site or date or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like I have 3 minutes. Should we, am I, do, we go on to the next one? Increase public access. I think that can stand as it is, except we can take out the park idea for downstream of Railroad Avenue, since it was bought by somebody else and turned into an eyesore plumbing supply company. So that's item number 3. And then the first part of item number 4 says, if the mine goes through, ask for a park on Centennial site. And I'm just changing it to ask for a park on Centennial site.
Yeah.
That's great.
Good.
Yeah, okay. So we'll take that out.
And we're keeping different versions of this.
This is the working version. And I have the old version.
Okay, so you're checking the other ones as we make changes somehow, like every month or something, save it.
Okay, I'll do, yeah, well, we're doing this one exercise, and at the end of that, this will be saved as the 2022 version of this
Yeah,
plan. Okay,
I think we should save it with a month to date on it also. I think that's what we talked about last time.
well, this is still, we didn't finish it last time, so this is still the review.
yeah,
Oh, so we'll look through the whole thing and then save that version
Yeah,
yeah.
for the update. Okay,
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, and then thriving as an organization. We're actually
Wow.
we're moving along pretty well on this one. I'm happy to say. We do have a few younger people that are coming in, which is great. We're starting to get students, but high school students are really hard because they have all this stuff with parents, and like a bunch of kids were supposed to come help with the Nisanon garden, and they, at the last minute, they didn't show up because one of the parents said they had to do chores instead, like they hadn't cleared it with their parents.
oh, no.
Wow.
So that was too bad, but you know, I'm going to contact him again and say, you know, what can we do so that your parents feel good, you know, give them proper notice and
Yeah,
all that stuff. So, but it's, you know, we're starting to get people that younger people that want to be involved. We have two new potential monitors. They're going to take the training that are in their 20s. So, and they want to help us.
Mm.
And they said they would help
great.
on a committee also to help engage younger people. So that's,
Oh, good.
yeah. So
And we have some new donors.
yeah, we have a bunch of new donors. So it's great. And I think I have here cultivate and maintain 6 to 8 major donors. I think we need to change that wording a little bit. I did make a comment, it's gone. Anyway, it's I was thinking cultivate like, how many do you think new how many new major donors do you think we should try to pull?
Mm.
Let's think
New
about it and
keyword.
talk about it next week.
I like it the way it is because you want to maintain the current donors, and you want to add them. You want to add new. So maybe you don't need the number.
I think we want to maintain all the major donors
Yeah,
and then cultivate and maintain all major donors and add
yeah.
a blank number of new.
Cultivate. I'm not sure how I feel about the word cultivate. Like,
That's a common term in donor language.
oh, is it? All
You
right.
cultivate,
Okay, so
it's like you weed and hoe, you know,
You cultivate the land, yeah.
you're keeping contact with them, and you're finding out what their interests are, and you're engaging them in conversations. You call them up every once in a while just to see how they're doing or wish them a happy birthday or something, you know. Keep them
Yeah, that's
abreast
good.
of the projects that we're doing. Yeah. Like we're about to do for the first time. It's so exciting, the major donor event.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people want to come. Isn't that great? I think
that's
it's
so
It's gonna be
wonderful.
fun.
yeah,
I'm sorry we're gonna miss it.
me too.
Mm.
You can stay, just stay a little longer.
Yeah, on the 14th. Let's see,
Yeah,
it's the
We will
14th,
miss
right?
you.
We'll be
Yeah,
on the
we will miss
road on the
too,
14th.
yeah, with the
Oh,
cat.
Oh, my.
Okay, so I think we can hang this up now, I guess, because 7:02. And are
So
we?
we'll
doing
look
any
at it
other-
again next week.
Yeah, that's good. We're almost done. Okay,
Very good.
stop the share.
Thank you, Josie.
You're welcome.
Jonathan, quick question.
Yeah.
Who's funding the lawsuit on behalf of that river, that lake in Florida?
Oh.
Who's paying the
I sent,
lawyers? Is it-
and maybe you didn't all see it. I sent around a New Yorker article about a group, no, a lake in Florida that is suing the county that the lake lives in, because the lake is
Yay.
being, somebody wants to destroy the lake. So the lake is suing
Right.
the county.
Yay.
Yes.
That's
And
great.
also some
great.
marshy bogs are also part of the lawsuit.
Liquid
Joining the
life.
suit.
But
love that.
I read through the end of that article, but it's not clear who's funding it. It's really just one guy, and I think he's just like on a mission to do it.
Mm.
Yeah, it just is really interesting. But
Yeah, it'd be interesting to say if it gets to court, what they say about standing.
what they say
Yeah,
about what?
standing.
Standing,
Who has
yeah.
standing?
Now
Yeah.
yeah, there's some other details about that. They actually, I
Anyway.
think the Florida legislature has already responded and passed a law saying that it's illegal for a lake to sue the county.
Oh,
So they, but it's an ongoing struggle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Wow.
step forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the downtrodden lakes of America need to
Right.
stand up.
so should we go back to,
And we'll stand with them.
yeah. So actually, the next thing was going to be the ED report, Josie.
Yeah, okay. And then VJ has a bunch of questions here. My tracking volunteer hours, do you mean for Briar Patch or for everything?
For everything in the world we can possibly imagine. Can
I
we give
can-
you all the hours so they're all in one place?
You can, and I have not been. So do you want, is this
If-
for the, yeah, I
I
need to
think
start.
it's
doing that.
useful for, I think it's useful for grant writing, right? For example.
Yeah, it's
And I'm
useful.
gonna add to my notes also for the preserve. We've been doing a lot of work out there too.
Yeah, it would be great
That's a
to
good
do that. And it wouldn't be that much extra time, I hope. I don't, but it's important. You can estimate it, but I think, you probably underestimate, so it would be good to have a better idea. And then we
Do
can
you
track.
think
how
that,
it uses.
do you think that a volunteer could be recruited to take that on? To just keep track of all the volunteer hours?
It would have to go through me first, wouldn't it? I mean, that seems, I don't know how to do that without me spending a lot of time talking to that volunteer,
Okay,
right? I mean, it would have, I don't think that would work. I'll try to think of how that could work,
okay.
put it that way.
Well, I
That-
just remember for a few years, I was trying to compile that. And of course it was estimates, but I would just ask people how much
Mhm.
hours they spent on, and it was all categorized. So if it would be helpful, I could send you what I did in the past.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it would be. You might have a different method, but
It might be, yeah, 'cause I have not been doing it, so I think that would be great.
Jane, I think that would be really valuable if you send that to Josie,
okay.
because you did that for several years, and there's good data in there. And
Yeah, just so
it
that
would-
we
and
kind of
it
had a
might give-
pretty good
it might
idea.
give Sorry, it might give Josie a format to continue doing it, or
And
so she doesn't have to start from scratch.
Sometimes grantors will ask about volunteer hours. And of course, a lot of it's guesswork because unless people keep a timesheet,
But we
You
do
kind of
have
forget.
some in that because we have sign up sheets for events, and you know how many hours those are generally, like
Mhm.
the restoration work and the monitoring, and
Yep.
we have some of that.
Okay, so then you ask Rose Foundation grassroots, due May 1st, do I need help?
I was.
Okay, so this is
Yeah,
another.
the woman,
this
I
is-
know a young,
But that means training that person.
right, to be a volunteer to help with grant writing.
well,
She is taking a grant writing class, so she's not coming in completely green. And I can tell her we don't need help grant writing, but she offered and was interested and excited, so I'm asking if
And
it
she's,
wouldn't be for May 1st, because she's rescinded that. She's not available till after May.
oh, she's not available till after May. Okay,
Yeah, so that that changed since I wrote this.
Other things will be coming up after that, so, yeah, there's one due May 1st. But then there's another chance to apply for strong in September, and, you know, grants have there's a whole nother round of stuff happening in September and October, so.
Can I say
Um,
something?
Yes,
I just wanted to say that for the grant writing, it needs to be somebody so that Josie doesn't end up being the tutor. It needs to be somebody who's familiar with grants. And so if this person that you had in mind is taking a grant writing class, that would be useful. But there are lots of pieces of grants, like requesting, you know, that documents that have to be gathered to support the narrative,
mhm,
and letters of support that need to be gathered, that kind of thing. So there might be some things like that that Josie could comfortably delegate to somebody else to do for her.
yeah, yeah, I'm just
Right.
saying, with someone that's that new, that would actually take me more time.
Yeah,
Right,
So-
right. Can I make a
But it
comment
may
here?
be- in the end, it might be useful to train somebody, and it's someone young and eager to help. We should probably find a way to, like Jane says, to pull them in somehow. Go ahead, yes.
the Center for Nonprofit Leadership holds these workshops. So it'd be good to sign people up, you know, see who we can sign up to take those courses.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Gary?
So yeah, Gary here. I have a contact, a neighbor who lives down a couple houses. Her name is Lorraine, and she's a professional grant writer, and it's mostly environmental grants. And when I was talking with her about the recent property acquisition, she was very appreciative of that. And it's in one point she said, "Well, I'd be happy to help Wolf Creek with some grant writing." And so she recently, I mean, I could give the details, but basically and I don't know how much time she would be willing to give, but I think she's someone that we could cultivate. So I can pass that on to you, Lorraine, to
Mhm.
you, Josie, about Lorraine, the contact, and then maybe we can get her involved in helping us with some of this grant writing. And it's tricky, as you've said repeatedly, Josie, because we have to keep in mind who's administering the grant and the knowledge of what needs to be done. And so it can't be just kind of done without consultation or direction from the ED,
Yeah.
which is you, Josie. But maybe this would be an interesting person to connect with, because she's done some pretty high level environmental grant writing, I believe, from what I can tell.
That sounds great.
So Gary,
So-
that sounds fabulous. And somebody like that would certainly know how much time those things take. I mean, that's
Right,
an
right.
important thing for a person to be aware of, that it is very time consuming. Sometimes people will offer to write grants and want to be paid. So we'd need to make sure that she's offering to volunteer.
Yeah, there was definitely a volunteer offer. I think what's unclear is how much time she's willing to offer.
Yeah,
But it's a good entry, and if we
yeah.
to use that word that you've used, Josie, cultivate. If we cultivate that relationship in the right way, then we might actually get some good things out of it. She's been interested in the mine, and what's happening with the mine, and has wanted to be involved in that. And I think she's getting more connected with some local things that way. And so, just recently when I saw her on the trails above my house, she shared that. So I can, when I get back in town, I can talk to her, and then maybe Josie, you and I can brainstorm, what might make best sense.
Okay. So I'm probably out of time, and I haven't gotten to talk about anything in the report that I wanted to talk about, especially hiring a new ED. Did you guys read the bombshell sentence in there? about hiring a new ED?
The
Am I-
bombshell? I
Yeah.
read the report, but I didn't
Any
remember. a
bombshells in there?
Bombshell.
There were several bombshells.
There were?
Uh,
Read right now.
One is that Joanne Hild might be interested in
Yes.
becoming an ED, and then another one that you might be willing to step down even before September 1st.
Oh, that was a bombshell.
Yeah,
And that you are interested in taking on the monitoring program, which not a bombshell. We've talked about that before a little bit.
Right.
but-
I don't know if it's gonna work because when you hire somebody, you have to give them at least enough hours to make it worth their while, right? If you're giving someone 60 hours a month, they can't, I mean,
It would have to be someone that isn't looking for full-time work.
that's looking for less than half-time. Yeah,
Right.
we'll have to see what the person wants and make it work best for them, I think.
So I want to mention that under old business that we didn't get to last month is ED recruitment. And the way the agenda is looking, I am imagining we're going to spend most of next week focusing on that. That'll be the focus of the meeting.
Okay. So can you please review the job description that is on the Google Drive in the Wolf Creek Community Alliance folder under organizational documents, where other job
What-
descriptions live.
Before next week.
Yeah,
And-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Joanne Hild, the thing there is that she doesn't play well with other organizations.
Hmm.
And
Huh.
I really worry about that. Though she could walk into the job and she could help build the organization like she did with SSI, which she did with SSI. So, there's pros and cons.
So why, okay,
That
So what
she
you're
yeah, that's
saying-
interesting.
not move money
Let's-
around in a very appropriate way sometimes.
So
Yeah,
she
we
would
should
have to
definitely
sort of
have
background
one.
person.
You're all talking at once. Why don't you raise your hands and somebody pick who's going to talk?
I'll start. I think we should be cognizant that this will be the topic of our conversation next week, and we'll delve into it.
That
We
makes
have
sense.
some other things that we're hopefully we'll get through today, so we won't have all these kind of hanging things like the action items and the other pieces we've been missing.
Denise, did you want to say something?
Oh, it's more in that direction in that if she's not good in front of kind of, how would you say, outreach to other organizations, maybe we needed to have somebody within our organization be designated for that and keep the executive director sort of behind the scenes. I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe.
And is that
like-
is that even a possibility? So I'll just throw that out there, but I don't know. So
I think that's good. Can I say something? I know her a little bit, and I would like to hear more from Josie maybe next week about pros and cons. She strikes me as someone who's been very successful with SSI, but with a very strong personality. And so I'd like to understand from her herself or from Josie, just in conversation with her, what she really envisions, because we're a much smaller organization. And I don't know, is it a kind of what kind of project? She just retired from SSI. So what is she
was
really
fired.
wanting to do? Oh, okay. Well, that's something I didn't really know.
And that was because of problems with staff.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
this is
okay. So
this is the conversation we should have offline.
Yeah,
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so anyway, just maybe at some point, go through and maybe that's a process for later, just looking at individual applicants and then somehow have a format for discussing that. It's an interesting possibility.
Yeah. Okay.
Josie, is there anything else from the report to highlight or discuss, I guess? Get into it.
I'm having trouble hearing you, BJ.
Oh, I'm just asking Josie if she has any other items she wants to discuss or get any input from before we.
I flagged the website. If you read the report, that's all I guess you need to know.
Yeah, that sounded like good news about the website.
Yeah, really good. That's really good.
There was one note that I think I quoted it on the agenda, contacting Andy Jennings about inviting other board members to the May 15th event. Oh, that's 14th. Okay, I thought maybe there was something on the 15th I missed. Okay, never mind. I understand that now.
Okay.
Anyone else doesn't? I have one last question. How do we redeem our Briar Patch discount? Do we just go in?
Oh,
Briar Patch?
that's all cleared. You have to sign up with Briar Patch as a volunteer. Did you do that?
Yeah,
And then you have to send Josie your hours.
did that.
You did
And
it
then you're
late.
ready to go.
So BJ, you didn't get it in on time? Remember? You were supposed to get it to me so that you're supposed to get it in to the Briar Patch so they could get you in the system before the end of the month, and then I would need to log the hours. And that you didn't get it in on time.
Okay, so for next month, how would I get my discount next month?
So
Is it just automatically when you go buy something?
so
Or do you,
I've sent you.
I've done it with Briar Patch. I could explain, or Josie, you can.
Go ahead, tell her. I don't.
Gary.
This is board time material, but okay, go ahead.
Well, you just go in and you ask if there's a Patchworks discount available to you with your Briar Patch number, and then they say yes, and then you get your 15% off for one purchase. I mean, for whatever
so
you purchase that day.
so it's all in their computer. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I wanted to know. If we needed a coupon or something, okay.
No,
That's
no.
all on the computer, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see. Where are we then? Committee reports. I guess we'll go on down the agenda.
Peterson property.
Okay, Peterson property. Gordon's been doing fantastic job on this. And seems like making progress every day. We've got power on there out now.
Oh,
It's in the name of Wolf Creek Community Alliance, yeah. And Gordon got the septic company to trade all the septic work for a Volkswagen VW that was sitting on the property. And then he's also got the pink slips for all the other vehicles there that I assume he's going to transfer into a lot of cash somehow or trade it for things.
good job, Gordon.
And let's see, and including that, we're going to have the next step is to get the well tested. And Gordon, I'm taking away all your.
No, you're fine. You're doing fine, Jonathan.
Oh, you're talking from here.
No, you're doing the report. I'm good with that.
let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You did have mentioned something about your sister here that maybe you should talk about.
Oh,
more.
okay. My sister is a botanist, and she's a university professor, and she's retired now, but she lives in Eugene, Oregon, and she's going to come here and visit on Sunday. Just look at my calendar. On Saturday the 30th, and in the afternoon we were going to go out, and she wanted to. She's looked at our iNaturalist account, and I mean she's very familiar with that. I think she has her own iNaturalist account actually, because she's traveled all over the world and documented wildlife and flowers and other stuff. I mean, that's what she does for fun. And she said she wanted to come here and walk our property and talk about the native plants and what she knows about the ecology, and she actually is like researching it, although I don't exactly know what she means. She told me, I'm just doing a little research on your property. And
I love it.
I don't think she's talking about like the title company or that kind of research.
Oh, no,
I think
no.
she's researching probably that unique um, uh, micro environment that we know the creek is. That Wolf Creek's in a very special part of the Sierras.
Right.
It's not all that common. What Wolf Creek has is not found everywhere in the Sierras. It's found in a relatively small number of places. And so she's actually kind of doing her homework on that. And she's going to be here on Saturday the 30th in the afternoon. And I thought it would be fun to have people come out and come with us and and walk around the property.
Mm,
And I
that's
even
great.
had
Fabulous.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
So,
that's great. She's
Yeah, Josie, go ahead.
so you were saying you wanted to make it a fundraiser.
yeah. Well, all right, that was probably a little over the top, but I thought to myself, hey, maybe we could get people to come out and donate 10 or 15 bucks and just just to and but maybe that's not such a great idea. Whatever. It's not the fundraising part. It was more, I think I got fun and fundraising kind of like mixed up in my brain while I was like writing the email.
Well, if we were doing your watershed, Know Your Watershed month, that would be an event that could be one of those events.
It could be. And I was thinking of adding some, oh shoot, when is the thing with Wild Eye?
Yeah, that was the point I was going to make. Josie has tentatively set up a work party cleanup day at the Wild Eye Pub on the 30th.
Oh,
Shoot.
I don't think, yeah, and so can't remember the hours of that. So
Damn, that's
So
unfortunate.
what does that entail, Josie, at the Wild Eye? Is there trash in the creek?
There's debris from the storm in the creek, and there's always trash in the creek there. So
Oh, okay,
it's a lot of storms damage stuff, I think.
okay.
And to tell you the truth, I haven't talked to her yet. I was away and I just got back, and so we need to talk to her.
Oh, so that's not set
Very
yet.
soon, it's very quick to try and organize either of those events, but damn, because I'm a botanist too, and I would love to go out.
Gordon is
Yeah,
running
you
in.
should be there. Josie needs to be there.
And I have some other botanist friends who are dying to get out and look at that serpentine, and
right.
Well,
Gordon-
maybe we'll-
Gordon, you originally said May 1st. Oh, sorry, Jonathan.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at that's the other part of my brain part that's not working. I was not looking at my calendar when I wrote that email. But the day she's going to be here is the 30th, and it's going to be in the afternoon. Yeah, not the first. The first is a Sunday. It's a Saturday that she's going to be here.
yeah. Shoot, I would really hate
Maybe-
to miss that.
Jane's got her hand up, so Jane, you should just talk.
well, do you, is the cleanup day for Wild Eye, is that set, or could you move that? in
I just
favor of-
confirmed it with her the other day, and I don't
Can
know.
it be for an hour to morning?
I don't know anything about it yet. I'll call her tomorrow and find out what you had in mind.
Yeah, because it seems like such a wonderful opportunity
Yeah, both of
to
them.
go
Yeah.
out, to have people with that kind of knowledge go out on the Peterson property.
Yeah.
It would be good in any case if there was some clear documentation. So ongoing, whoever has been out there, like I know that BJ, you shared something of what, with that one photograph of that plant and the rest, and maybe we can keep building on it. And Josie, you have some botanist friends, and you have expertise yourself. It might be good to, I don't know, I mean, iNaturalist might be a good format for that or something else, but just something to really document place and time and species as a starting point at least. And then you can look at communities, plant communities and the rest.
Take a lot of pictures.
Yeah. And luckily it's going to rain, from now until then. So on and off. So it's really good news. We might get a little more germination of a few things because it's a very dry year. It's not a good flower year. But
There are poppies coming up out there right now.
Yeah, the poppies are popping right now.
yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe we can do them both, that even if it's on the same day.
Yeah, maybe you can
Not
just
everybody can go to both, but
different hours. Yeah.
it depends on what we find out. So that's
Yeah,
great.
so that day is also not that it relates to us, but that day is also World Tai Chi Day. And
Oh,
and
no.
and which means that there's going to be a big, as you all know, that is Homer Nottingham's big day, and he is promoting it to the max. And there's going to and my wife, Judy, is a taiko drummer, so she's going to be taiko drumming all morning,
Wow.
while demonstrating Tai Chi out in the park. And so it's a pretty big day, and that is a fundraiser for Kiwanis. I mean, that's what Homer does it for,
Mhm.
and so and they raise all their money for buying the backpacks and the back to school stuff for the kids for the fall in that fundraising window. So their goal is on the order of $10,000 to $15,000 is what they try and pull in from
Wow.
that one event. So
Wow.
it's a pretty. I'm not saying that it really has any impact on us one way or the other, but that's going on that day. And in fact, I'm pretty much committed to being there I personally am committed to being there all morning to support Judy, and also my sister's going to be here. And then in the afternoon, we were going to go out to the Peterson property. So, I mean, how that all kind of works, I don't know, but that's kind of how that's what's going on that day.
So the good news is that the cleanup, according to Beth, is 10:30 to 12:30 with a volunteer lunch and beverage provided.
Wow.
After,
So it looks like we can do it all.
Cool.
is
yeah.
is the
That's
lunch
perfect.
after?
The lunch is from 12:30 to 1.
That actually could turn out to not just be that could actually be like far from being a bad thing. That could be like the perfect thing, because then
Yeah.
people could go directly from the cleanup of the creek to going to see a cleaned up creek.
Yeah, really.
This
Yeah.
is what it could look like when the Wild Eyed Pub is gone and all of
Yeah.
Grass Valley is removed.
And we will have done some things for Know Your Watershed, which I was gonna just forego, but it's kind of being put on me it's happening on its own, really. So that's so great.
See what
And,
you started?
What?
See what you started?
Yeah, yeah, it's got its own momentum. So I put the signs back up along the Wolf Creek Trail with Jonathan and Bruce a couple weeks ago. I've got a few more to put up. So.
Good,
Yeah.
good. It sounds like that's going to work out.
Mhm.
We're still going through committee reports. And BJ, so yeah, you made a note here that, and reminding us that it would be good if our committees reported in writing ahead of time.
Right, so the following, the committees on the rest of the list on the agenda, in theory, can just be submitted as a written report that we can all promise, cross our hearts and hope to die, swear to read before next week.
But why
If
don't, we-
every one of those committees has someone that can write a report, we want to do that.
I like that idea. Is there,
We
and maybe
want to
by,
designate people to do these.
so this is something we're suggesting we would do before the next week, next Monday, next.
Right,
next-
last month, we decided to try this.
Okay,
And since with the meeting this a little bit earlier than we thought, I thought if we talked about it today, maybe we can quickly go through this list and make sure there's someone that'll prepare that short report.
so the reports we're looking at are the DEIR, and Gary, Jonathan, and Josie have our names here. Let me just.
Can one
read-
of you submit a paragraph?
I put
Um,
something in my report on it, a 3-sentence paragraph.
Right.
I hate to
Yeah,
ask Gary to do anything.
Maybe that's
because he-
enough.
I hate to ask Gary to do anything because he's in Escalante right now and he should be
Right.
hiking during the daytime, not writing reports, but
So why don't I just put
Well, a
C, the
paragraph
ED
isn't too hard.
report? Should I just put CED report?
Yeah, I think
That's
Josie's
sufficient.
written a good summary of that. That's keeping us up to date. I think that's fine.
Okay. Then that
okay,
one's-
and I'll do
And
a,
that's,
sorry,
Go
I'll
ahead,
do it.
Donna.
The next one is the Adopt a Highway. I'll do that. I'll do a report for that by a week from now.
Great.
Uh,
Board
board-
recruitment, we were gonna wait till after the DEIR. I don't think we should be doing that and the ED recruitment next week, the same meeting. The ED recruitment's gonna take our time up, I think.
I think they're both important. Jane is leaving and it just
I
seems
don't
like,
think Jane's leaving the board.
but she's not able to do anything. And I think we are, we should be talking about it and thinking about it and knowing what, we should take a step. I think we need to take a step towards that recruitment right
So,
away.
Jonathan, do you want to try to get some traction on that and write a paragraph for next week?
I think what we need to do is have well, I mean, a subcommittee to handle board recruitment.
So that could be what you're,
Okay, that'll be my report.
we need
I
to,
will do a 5-minute report next week.
to try to start putting that together.
I'm willing to help with that whole process.
That would be great, Josie. I think that's
Yeah.
really
And
important.
I could write up a timeline and
But we won't probably spend a lot of time on discussing it at the board meeting next week about board recruitment.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
then it's not,
Next month,
then it's another
maybe.
month before we even start to talk about it.
Right. It's true.
Well, no,
But we're already doing 2 meetings this month and we need to focus on that ED recruitment.
That
Otherwise
shouldn't
we get
take
so
the whole-
spread thin.
That shouldn't take the whole meeting, I don't think.
Well, if we have time left over, then we could do board recruitment.
Okay.
Ooh. The next one is NID water.
yeah, I can write a paragraph just updating. We're basically monitoring the NID process right now. At some point, we should get more active and step in. We've talked about meeting with the manager or something, but maybe we can, I'll just give a report and we can go from there.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, We
Awesome.
do.
Forest resilience. Lynn and Josie.
Lynn and I have had some emails. We're gonna meet together. We haven't set the time yet. I just got back.
Is
so.
that in the ED report? Is that part of the ED report? I'm sorry, I read it, but I just don't remember all the details.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I believe it
Okay,
is.
then I'll put that that's in the ED report too.
Okay, and we've already talked about grant fundraising to some extent.
Okay,
That's all in the ED report,
Right, okay,
and it will be. I'll just keep it in there.
right.
Okay, then I will do that for all the agendas, that those reports will be in
Great.
the ED reports.
Well, let's see, so we've still got 20 minutes to go over some of these old, do we want to keep moving forward here? Review.
Yes, we absolutely do. Review the action items that we didn't get to last time.
Okay.
And
let's
that's-
see. I'm looking for the action items.
It is a couple pages down on the agenda.
ED report, Jennings Foundation.
It's below the vision, mission, goals, land acknowledgement.
Got it. Okay, so action items, which is also known as a to-do list, things that we've told ourselves that we want to do, right?
Yes.
Let's see, the first item, additions to strategic plans. So are we going to just go through this and say, yes, we've discussed this, we're doing this?
We
Mhm.
just,
Yeah, and
yeah, we just
some
did this.
of these are, sorry, go ahead.
No, we just did this strategic plan.
Okay, yeah,
So the note that was from the last meeting was that we should all be thinking about additions that we want to make. So
Yeah.
anytime that we said as a group, this is to do, I put it on this list. So
okay,
maybe on there, I should just put ongoing.
Yeah,
yeah. That's ongoing.
Ongoing.
Send subcommittee reports, okay, that's ongoing. We just decided to do that.
And the next one I put on there and I did it wrong. We're not doing monthly dated versions. I misunderstood that. We already did that one too.
Okay. Are you gonna remove that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going
Oh.
back in time to February. Assign, let's see. Assign/BOD. Ask Greg Thrush to help with biodiversity as we recruit board members. We're gonna have a biodiverse board?
Oh, that's funny.
Maybe we could have a lake on our board of directors.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take bio out.
Hmm.
It gets late when I finish these after the meeting.
Yeah, no, yeah, this is great.
We need the,
Um,
yeah.
So yeah, this is all about board recruitment. So this is ongoing. I don't know if anybody's going to talk to Greg Thrush about it specifically.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to talk to Greg Thrush?
I will
Josie
talk.
suggested that we do.
Let's see.
I don't know. It's not that, I just thought he he knows some things about, that's kind of what he did with his job, not within their organization, but he was like a community liaison. He might be able to help us find some.
So, but the question is, do you want to talk to him about that or?
I think I'll talk to him.
Okay,
Us.
Okay, I will change this to, instead of assign it or the board, I'll put Josie.
So Josie, the idea is to get his take on how to, not individuals, but his take on how to increase our outreach
Yeah,
to
and not just on the board, but
throughout
throughout.
the organization.
Yeah, right. He might have some ideas. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. He might not.
So the next three items all say the same thing, that various people have volunteered to read the strategic plan. So I think
Do what?
have all volunteered to, Jane.
Well, we were also, everyone on the board is supposed to read these, and I never got confirmation of these three yet. It's just confirming if Jane, Gordon, and Denise have read the strategic plan and the fundraising report.
Oh, yes.
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 That's a little, I don't know.
Yeah, that probably doesn't need to be on the list.
It really doesn't. Yeah.
Well,
We're all adults here.
but we have had so many, we are all adults, but we have really long conversations, and we say a lot of things in these meetings, and a lot of things get dropped. And at any point, we can always say, oh, never mind, we don't want to do that anymore, or that doesn't matter, or something. But
But it's good that you record it.
I feel like my job is to record anything and not judge whether it should be recorded or not. So
Yeah,
I
I get
have
that.
to err on the side of too much.
Yeah.
And this seemed important. We all were like, yes, we'll read it. Okay.
Okay. So the next item has to do with the email that we've been getting, because Jane is the one who's been reading the emails and either forwarding it to somebody else or triaging it. That's what I call it, triage.
Yeah.
And Gordon, at one time you volunteered to take on that chore.
Yeah, I am willing to take that chore on, but I haven't done anything about actually
think-
taking it on. What?
Yeah, I think
Should go to
and
me.
Gordon,
Don't you think
it rests with me at this point. I think we figured out that we just need to add names to the account. And I haven't done anything about it, but I will plan to finalize that, to solve that issue in the next week or two for sure.
So,
And then you would start reading the emails.
so aren't most of them things that I should be dealing with, like new volunteers and
Yeah.
inquiries? So why
yeah.
not just have it go to me? It's really my task, I think.
Well, it's a lot of, it's not just that. It's just a bunch of stuff from the county, a lot of stuff that, you're on the list for anyway.
But is it something that a board member really needs to be dealing with?
Probably not. No, it's just,
Sounds more to
just
me like
somebody,
day-to-day operations
yeah,
than,
just
that-
somebody to triage the email. And what I need to do is, I just set up some mailbox, I can't think of the word for it, but
folders. Yeah.
yeah, folders. There you go. And so, yeah, I'll have an answer for you in a week or two.
Okay, BJ, your hand's up, and then me.
I think Gordon's willing to take it, I would prefer Gordon do that than to add something to Josie's to-do list, especially in thinking about having to transfer all of her tasks to spending easy. I don't think she has to take that on.
You gotta understand that well, first, we want to be efficient. And second, there are things the ED does and things the board does. And email, that kind of email is not governance, I don't think. If it is, I'll pass it on to you, but it doesn't seem like, it seems like most of it would come to me, and if not, I will just delete it if it's not pertinent. And
Can I ask a question here, which is, Jane, how many emails do we get a week?
Not many, maybe, I don't know, I can't give you a final, a real count, but maybe.
All
in a
right, here's what
week,
I would
maybe
propose.
10.
I would propose that we go with the original plan, Josie. I agree with you, but I think one of the things that's got to happen is like the answer to that question, how many emails a week per week we get per week, has to be known. I mean, Jane, I get it. You don't know the answer to the question. That's like a really important question. You can understand why I'm asking it, I think,
Well, I
because
could certainly count them up and give you a number.
well,
I'm
that
just
would
sitting
be
here-
that would be very helpful. But in the
Sitting here, I
meantime,
don't know that number.
I am willing to take on just getting them, and then Josie, I will come to you and say, hey, look, most of these emails really don't have to do with the board person, and I can pass them to you. I agree with you, Josie, and that if maybe it will make sense to have you be the person who gets them. But I would like to see what is coming in. I'm actually curious now about what kind of emails we get. It doesn't sound like there's that many, Jane. Is that correct?
No, it's
No.
not.
Okay. So it's not going to be like 20 emails a day or anything like that. It's
No,
going to be a
no,
couple of
nothing like that.
emails once in a while. And if there are lots of them that are, or if it's clearly something that I think the ED should handle, I'd like to give it to you. But I agree with BJ that I don't want to put anything else on your plate, Josie. I really don't. I want to keep it off. I want to try and see what's there. And like I said, for one thing, I mean, I actually do get approximately 150 emails a day, and I process all of them. So so however many emails we're going to get more, it's not going to be great for me, but I'll do it. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
There's one other factor here, which is that this is email that is sent to Wolf at Wolf Creek Alliance. And we want to, if we want to maintain that, I don't know if you call it a fiction, but that email address, and we want to be responding to people from that same address rather than from Gordon's,
Right.
address or
Yeah, that's a very
Rosie's
important
private
part.
address, or so. I mean, and this is something that I would agree with you, Josie. It'd be good to solve that question. How are we doing this? Do we want to keep that Wolf at Wolf Creek Alliance address? And do we want to respond to people from that address? Or maybe this,
Jonathan, I know
Josie's got
Josie,
her hand up. So
I'd just like to say, I totally agree with you, Jonathan. I cannot respond from my personal address.
Right.
That's for
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
okay, so with our new website, we're going to be switching from Fat Cow to the new website. The new website service, part of it is that we get some emails. So we can transfer using the same names. And we won't be dealing with Fat Cow anymore, which is a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
And free, but so within the next 2 months, we should have that website up, and we'll have a new email system using those same things.
Okay. All right.
that's good.
So
I mean,
this would
that
just be an interim solution then, Gordon.
That's good.
I hate to bring in another subject that's not even on this action item, but it's kind of related. It has to do with a phone number, because right now we have a published phone number with and no phone.
Oh,
I
That's not,
lost, that phone is no
What
longer,
happened to that?
it got stolen. And
hmm.
I can transfer, let's see, I would have to set up, I can transfer it. I haven't done it yet, but I would have to get a new phone and have that phone number directed to that phone.
Mm.
And who would monitor that phone? I mean, I've always monitored it in the past.
Yeah, that is
So-
the job of an ED, not of a board president, really. Really.
But the question is, so are you saying that you're going to set up a new phone number and a new phone, or transfer that phone number to a new phone?
Well, it should,
Or are we going to abandon the 530-272-2347 phone number?
where is it published?
On the website. Yeah.
And on some business cards.
mhm.
Oh. Well, yeah, we should abandon that. We can get it taken down off the website.
But what will be the official phone number then?
Can't you roll over the phone number?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We have to roll it
Yeah.
over. We need a new phone. We need to put it, we need a new phone. Do we want to pay for a new phone account with AT&T?
You know, a lot of people don't publish their phone number.
Maybe I
Or-
should talk with you, Josie, separately
Yeah.
about this, because
Yeah.
it's not really, it's not productive. It's
Yeah,
kind
maybe
of-
we don't need,
Maybe
Yeah.
we
maybe
don't
we
need a
don't
phone
need
number.
a phone number.
Yeah, they can contact us by email.
Or
And-
text, maybe
Yeah.
nowadays texting.
Well, that you need a number for that.
You
Yeah.
need a number that you would have basically for text.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we don't need a phone number also, Jonathan,
Okay.
that no one's gonna answer the phone. So,
Right,
so there's, I mean,
Right.
yeah,
right. I
Okay,
would say if we had a full-time
Mhm.
office operation
we would
with
need a
someone
phone.
answering the phone, that would be appropriate. But since we don't, I don't think we need a phone number.
Well,
okay. And BJ's got her hand up.
will a new ED then be expected to use their personal phone for Wolf Creek work?
I do,
No.
I
do.
know
You
you
do,
do,
yeah.
Jude.
We all
So
do.
do you think that's right? Is that to be
Would-
expected?
Well,
Right.
when I worked for CMPS, they paid a portion of my phone bill. A portion of
Ah.
the monthly bill.
I just don't know if people like having that mixed, like have their phone ring and they don't know if it's personal or work, and
Yeah, that's
I
a
wouldn't
point.
necessarily
Can
want
I-
it.
May I ask something? I'm just wondering, with all the different groups of people that we have involved, like when you have a school event, if they need to get a hold of you right away, they have your personal
call
phone
me.
number, Josie?
Yeah, they do.
On your personal, okay.
It's really not a problem. It's really not. And I think that that's the way, like most people I know
Yeah.
now, since landlines are becoming obsolete, they use their personal number. I mean, even circle staff, et cetera.
Yeah, okay.
But you can talk, whoever you recruit, you can negotiate that with them.
Mm.
So I have never charged you for any phone or transportation. And another ED might, whoever's typing maybe should mute. Because the typing is loud,
Okay.
Gordon. Yeah, I've never charged you any gas or anything to do with transportation. Just so you know, a new person might want their
Might,
mileage
yeah.
reimbursed.
Well, we're running to the end of our time here. We've gone through more than half of the action item list. I propose that we finish that next week. we'll also be working on ED recruitment next week. That'll be kind of the major part of our discussion. Is that everybody agreeable to that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate everyone coming on this journey. And I also appreciate that we're going to end on time, which is really very helpful to me because I actually have a bunch of things I need to take care of tonight. So thank you all. And we will do this again shortly. And BJ?
Just a reminder that there's a going away party for Jane and Dawn on the 21st.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Thursday,
All
the
right.
21st. Okay,
All right.
See you all
Bye-bye.
soon.
bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Take
Good to
care.
hear from you.
Bye,
Bye.
Gary.